Hey guys, this is Shane and welcome to my Curator of the Lost channel. Today, let's talk about patience for profit, okay? We'll unpack this in just a second. I'll show you an example of something that's over time has really worked out good for me, and it's taken some patience, but it's a great example of having patience for the profit. So, hey, before I jump in, I want to say thanks for the channel support, the views, the comments, and I look forward to your comments on this video on things you've been patient for, some long tail items that have paid off in the end. So, let's go back to the video, unpack patience for profit. So what I'm talking about in this is, as sellers, we want to buy it, list it, and flip it quick. If that happens, that's the optimal case, right? To buy things cheap, inexpensively, be able to list them for a, as for a large price, for finding valuable stuff, and they sell quick. So we make a quick profit and we turn it over, and that is absolutely what is the best case scenario. Don't get me wrong. That's if all of my stock did that, I probably wouldn't have to work a day job. I would just do this, right? And people, quite frankly, people that are looking do this full time, they really, a lot of people have to look at this because they can't have stock, right, that has a real long tail to it, right? It takes a long time to sell, and because you need that monthly income. And it also gets to be things like storage space, just a very practical thing, right? So granted, you have to look at buying stuff that you think is going to sell in a reasonable amount of time. However, sometimes patience pays off, and that's what I do a lot of times when I'm buying books that, what I would call, they're thin books. I specialize, what I love to find are nonfiction books in really weird subjects, right? And so if I think it has a good value, or if you're doing comps on on ScoutIQ, Peak, wherever, and maybe it's only selling on Amazon, it's like maybe it's only selling one every 6 months or so, or maybe it only sells one in a year, but it's a book that I buy for a quarter or $1, and I can get $150 for it. I'm content to be on my shelf, have it priced at a decent price, put best offers on, and make that big profit, have the long tail items. And that's where patience can turn into profit. Again, if I could sell it in a day, I would prefer to do that. But a lot of the times the things we find, they just don't, right? You have to be patient for it. So having that mindset can pay off. And the real strategy is to have a mix of things, right? You want things that are going to sell quick, things that are going to have good turnover within a couple of weeks or a month, and then sprinkle in these long tail items and have the patience to let them reap that reward of something that you found and make the big bucks on it. So I've got an example of something that I think is kind of cool. It's actually a non-book item, but it's something that I've been patient with, and it just keeps making, I do some sales. And here's the thing, I was at an estate sale. This is actually several years ago now, and there was a bunch of Jimmy Carter presidential things, and I bought this whole lot of things for like $30. And over time, I've made probably $500-600 off this profit, and it just keeps going. And there was this one box of presidential pins, and then there was a whole other, this you can see from the estate sale, the item, the lot number, another thing of presidential pins, and yet another thing of presidential pins. And these are all from 1976, the Carter Mondale. And so what I'll do is I list these in, I'll take this kind right here, like this kind and this kind, I'll put them together like 20 pins, and they'll sell for $10 to $12 plus shipping. And I just keep selling. I've still got hundreds of them, and they sell, right? $10 or $12. I mean, I'm not selling them every week, but it sells. Then in this box here, this was actually, I've sold it almost, I'm almost out of these. These had, look, there was a Rosalind Carter, some of these are faded. There was a Jimmy for president. There was the peanut pen. So these were more specialty ones, right? And I'm almost, you can see, I've got it down to, I'm almost out of the specialty ones. There's the Carter Mondale one. But the point is, you know, just to demonstrate, and the reason I pulled these out is because I just sold some of these, like 10 of them for like $10, like $1 a piece or something, 50 cents a piece. But they just keep selling, right? Like I said, I'm not doing it every day. I'm not doing it every, you know, sometimes they'll sell. I'll list another one, they'll sell. Sometimes they'll sit there a month and then they'll sell. I've got hundreds of them. I've got them in these, the original things I bought them in. They don't take up much space. I just keep listing, keep selling. So that's an example for me of patience turning into profit, because again, $30, I've probably made $500 or $600 off this one thing over time, but it's, you know, it's not a lot of volume. But the same thing happens on books. It happens on other things. Long tail items can turn into good money. Obviously we want to sell them quick, but you know, keep your eye out. Don't be scared of having something that sits there for 6 months if you've got the storage space and if you've got the patience. So it can pay off. And talk to you soon. Bye.